Okay, welcome to the another problem on super mesh analysis. In this problem, example, we are going to find the loop currents I1, I2 and I3 in the circuit. Consider the diagram shown here. Here is 10 ampere. Okay. So, and we have got one independent source and one dependent source, current dependent voltage source. Okay. Sorry, voltage dependent current source. We have to find I1, I2, I3. So we'll assume this is the mesh 1 and the current flowing here is I1, and this is the mesh 2 and the current flowing here is the I2. This is mesh 3, current flowing here is I3. So this is 5 ohm resistance, 4 ohm resistance, 2 ohm resistance, 6 ohm resistance given, and the independent current source, dependent voltage dependent current source, that is Vx by 1.8. The value of Vx is the voltage across 3 ohm resistance. Its value is 3 ohm. 3 ohm resistance. Okay. So whenever the independent current source is in the perimeter, by considering that current source, we can eliminate that loop or we can eliminate that mesh. From figure, capital I1, that is mesh current I1 is equal to 10 ampere. The mesh current I1 is equal to 10 ampere. From figure, Vx, the voltage across the 3 ohm resistance, is equal to the 3 and the current. See, the current in through 3 ohm is I2, I3 minus I2. I3 minus I2. Okay. I3 minus I2. See, here plus we got here. Okay. We have assumed that I3 is now opposite to that of I2 is opposite to that of the I3, so that you can write this as I3 minus I2. If you consider the downward of loop, this is the plus and this is the minus. If you consider the loop 2, this is plus, this is minus. As simply I will write separately, I will write here. Okay, this is Vx, this is plus and minus has been given. According to the current I3, through current I3, this is plus and this is minus. Okay. Through current I1, so I2, this is plus, this is minus, and this is 3 ohm resistance. That is 3 ohm resistance. So if I consider this as positive, and I can write here current as I3 minus I2. I will write the current direction as I3 minus I2. Means I3 minus I2, when flowing this, first whenever it reaches the resistance first, that terminal is positive. Okay. If you simply write the resistance as this is the current direction, the first point of the resistance is positive and another part of the resistance is negative. So that as this is the current direction I3, which makes this is the positive, so it will write this as I3, and this is I2 is opposite to the I3, so that the total current flowing is I3 minus I2. In this way, we have to assume the direction, we have to consider the direction of the current. So Vx is equal to I3 minus I2. Okay. From see this, I have not given the name. From this mesh, I will apply the mesh law. As 5 ohm is belong to both I1 and I2, so this is mesh 5 I1. And for I2, 5 plus 4 plus 3, that is plus 12 I2, and this 3 is also belongs to mesh 2 and mesh 3, so minus 3 I3, and there is no voltage source, this is equal to 0. No voltage source, that is equal to 0, and I call this as the equation 1. Call this as the equation 1. Okay. From this branch, okay, this is 1 by 8 Vx, the current source. This is the direction of I3, whereas this is the direction of I1. So that the direction of I3 and direction of 1 by 8 Vx is same. So that I3 is equal to 1 by 8 Vx. Whereas I1 is opposite to these two, so minus I1. I3 minus I1 is equal to 1 by 8 Vx. Okay, we'll call okay 1 by 8 Vx. What is Vx? Just now we have written that Vx is 3 into, so that 3 into I3 minus I3 minus I2. So substituting that in place of Vx, it becomes 1 by 8 into 3 into I3 minus I2. This can be written as 8 times the I3 minus 8 times the I1 by cross multiplying the 8 is equal to 3 times the I3 minus 3 times the I2. So that this becomes minus 8 times the I1 plus 3 times the I2 plus 5 times the I3 is equal to 0. This is called equation 1 and 2. See, but we know that I1 is equal to 10 ampere. So equation 1 becomes minus 5 into 10 plus 12 into I2 minus 3 into I3 is equal to 0. It becomes minus 50 plus 12 I2 minus 3 I3 is equal to 0, and we call 12 I2 minus 3 I3 is equal to 50. We may call this as the equation 3. Similarly, from equation 2, minus 8 into I1 is 10 plus 3 I2 plus 5 I2 is equal to 0. This can be written as 3 I2 plus 5 I2 is equal to 80, and call this as the equation 4. See, from equation 3 and 2, there are two unknowns. What are unknowns? I2 and I3. Two unknowns. Solving, already I1 is drawn, that is 10 ampere, and I2 is equal to 7.1 ampere, and I3 is equal to 11.74 ampere. I3 is equal to 11.74 ampere. Okay, we'll come up with some more problems.